Here's another topic that I've covered a few times. And yeah, as long as they're going to continue to pound away at it, yeah, I'm going to pound away at a counter narrative. You know that. Independent. And what's up with the Independent anyways? Damn, Independent, Vice, Guardian. What happened to these outlets? They used to be somewhat objectionable in the reporting, or objective, I should say. And much less politically biased, but I'm seeing now that it's like, well, like I say in past videos, everyone seems to want to run to their perspective corners politically. Oh, I'm either on the right or the left. Which leaves people like myself that aren't dogmatists, right? Stand here in the middle. Very few of us here, like, where'd everybody go? Don't worry. They can't force me over there or over there. I'm quite comfortable right where I'm at. MEPs have warned European countries most seriously considering introducing a general basic income to prepare for wide-scale unemployment that could come as a result of robots taking over manual jobs. A draft report tabled by a socialist MEP, Mady Delvaux-Starets, warns preparations must be made for what it describes as the technological revolution currently taking place, including provisions for the possible effects of the labor market on the labor market of robotics. So, I mean, cultural Marxism and Marxist bullshit. Although, like I say, the more I understand Marx, there were some things I didn't mind about the man, to be honest with you. I know that's probably going to be shocking, but there were some truths that he did speak about. But the leftists, the collectivists, the control freaks, you know, as with everything, just like religious zealots, just like any dogmatist, they always look to use words of their deities or their masters or the political, philosophical masters and twist and spin those narratives to suit their own personal devious plans, right? But this whole push, really what this has come down to, so, okay, anyways, let me continue. The report, which passed by 17 votes with 2 and will be put in front of the entire European Parliament in February, urges member states to consider a general basic income in preparation for robots taking over people's jobs. So what this is, I didn't even read the headline, sorry about that. The headline on this, is EU universal income must be seriously considered as rise of robots threatens mass unemployment, says MEPs. So not just what? MEPs. We have to think about universal revenue because if there are so many unemployed people, we need to ensure that they can have a decent life, says MEP. So it's not that they worry about that they need a decent life. You know, these politicians, it's like, well, if they don't have jobs and they don't have something to do, well, they're going to be coming for us because we're the fuckers living off of them, right? So it's not that. Really what it is as with everything that we all know in life, I mean, people can talk about how we have to live for others, but people live for themselves, all right? You can try to say that, oh, we got to live for others and sacrifice ourselves for others, but human beings, just like animals, they instinctively know, well, I got to live for myself, otherwise what good is it? If I live for someone else, what's the point, right? That means I'm a slave. So all these MEPs are doing are making sure that we got to make sure that the populace are entertained or we got to throw them some change so there's not a populist uprising against us, ruling elite, right? That's really what it comes down to. But the fact that you're even talking about, from a mainstream, and this is always from the established media, that you need universal income. The fucking funny part is the Independent here, where this is being reported, they would be just like all the other established media. Tomorrow they might very well be saying, because of political propagandas that give them here's what you got to report, right? Like I say, there's no independent journalism. And the fact they call them independent, that's a joke. But here's your talking points. Go with it. And if it comes out that, oh, look, jobs are great. Hey, unemployment's down. They'll go and run with that. Even though if you read the fundamentals of the reports, like, oh, wait, now they're all part-time jobs, less paying, so people are actually in much more perilous economic situations than they were prior. But because they're willing to go along and get along, they'll report that as if it's good news. And then the next day when their media political overlords tell them, oh, but there's this, we need to, let's start talking about the universal basic income. It's like, oh, now we got to spin the narrative to the exact opposite. Now, all things are so bad economically and robots are going to steal everybody's job. Well, we're going to need a universal basic income to help the poor. But on the day before, you were just saying how great things were. Look, stock market's on a tear, right? GDP growth is still growing, right? We're not in a recession. I mean, think about the constant narratives you're told all the time how things are going. I mean, well, the economy is okay. We're not growing as fast as we were in the 90s or the early 2000s, but hey, we're still growing, so that's a good positive sign. And look at the millions of jobs we've created. Blah, 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 blah. But yet, what the fuck would you need a universal basic income or even talk about it now? If you're creating all these jobs, obviously that's quite far down the road. Why worry about that shit now? It's because they're lying, all right? It's the thing with liars. And when they just go whichever way the wind blows, when your opinions, when your narrative literally can change with the direction of the wind, political winds, then don't listen to these people for any truth. I mean, every once in a while they might, like a broken clock, they might be right once in a while, right? I could flip a coin and guess all the time, and I'm going to be right a fair amount of the times. Doesn't mean I'm a genius or have any expert abilities on coins and how that works and how many times. There's nothing mathematical about it. It's just guessing. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. That's what these so-called experts are doing. And actually, a lot of times they're not even guessing. They're trying to put forth a narrative to make things happen. And when it doesn't pan out the way they put it forth, that's when they start talking back, right? Or rolling back the propaganda they put forth. Anyways, I'm going to tie this video up. But yeah, come on. Universal basic income is an admission of failure. All the central banks, all the shit they've been doing since the 2008 crash, right? That hasn't done anything, and so they're still trying to talk about we're going to need a universal basic income. Even after printing trillions of dollars, creating all this fake demand or GDP growth in the economy, they're still talking about this. Even the people that aren't economically astute or intelligent enough to understand all the macroeconomic fundamentals that are happening behind their back or behind closed doors, they at least know instinctively that, wait a minute, I'm being lied to. I might not know how I'm being lied to. I might not know exactly who's lying and what they're lying about, but I know there's some lying going on. And that's why the people are turning more and more against central planners, control freaks, and so-called experts, and people like myself that are just telling them the truth and actually backing it up with facts all the time. That can't be denied. That's the thing. They can talk propaganda, but I will constantly espouse factual-based things and aspects of philosophy and principles and morality that can't be denied. Because the minute you try to deny it is the minute you unfold all the bullshit. And nobody wants to unfold everything. Because then we got to start from scratch, right? That's the truth of the matter, folks. Skinny Libertarian, and I love liberty.